Today, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store. Between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And quickly into the hands of Robinson.
That's good for a Minnesota.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Now a throw here hauled in. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. 2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 31-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 63 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A.J. Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
McGinnis with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here's Singletary. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Chicago. John Ross, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
The McGinnis with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And out now come the Vikings. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Dante Fowler, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and 8.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Vikings nothing.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun, and he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That one goes for 8 yards.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And 12 at the 33-yard line.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there for a big milestone in this game. That's sack number 198 of his career. Ties him with Hall of Famer Reggie White for second place all time. Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return, and the Bears take over. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Going deep downfield for... This is caught inside the 15. And all the way down to the 5. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Oh, on the defensive side, that is so deflating.
Not only is it deflating, they've got to look in each other's eyes on that side of the ball and take each other's measure. You've got them backed up, perfect situation, and what they said to you on the other side is, we don't think you can stop us. Went ahead and got it in that position. That should never happen.
The tackle made back at his own 49.
2nd and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think the defenders have to feel pretty good. Even though the ball was tipped in the air and could have become a big play for the offense, they actually won one because the guy flinging it today, he's having quite the performance. A couple touchdown passes, almost threw his first interception, but he's throwing it so well that I think Lady Luck was on his side.
That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and as a loop.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
No, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You can fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 23. McGinnis with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively, trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. The quick slant caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears add on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play.
It's a foot race. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. And the drive starts with a completion left side and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Check 26.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. This is Geis. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. With his third touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and he's got him in the lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was all finished off by the 17-yard touchdown run.
Austin McGinnis set to kick off.
McGinnis with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Mike 53. Get this worm on.
Mike 53. 53. Mike.
He'll look to throw, and his throw's going to be incomplete. DeMarcus Robinson, the intended target on that one. And it's second down.
Incomplete. Greedy Williams on the coverage.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Dante Fowler in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line? And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. John Ross with touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game. And this offense continues to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. McGinnis with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a
blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
70 Timberwolves. 53, Mike.
I got you, son. Check. 53's Mike. Check.
And the pressure gets to him again. Khalil Mack in there for a big one. That is sack number 200 for his career. It ties him with Bruce Smith for the all-time NFL record. And he's on the heels of winning the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award. He had a pair of sacks in last week's game, Charles.
so much for adjusting, so much for game planning, right? You know that he had the 2 sacks last week. Why aren't you able to block him? Sometimes the superior athlete just wins.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. On the return is Cohen. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the 1st down.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from 11 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And this carries into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Here we go. Watch 7.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for...
That's our ball, baby. Going the other way.
After review of the play,
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down.
Watch the boot. Check Mike 99. Mike 99. Panther 60. Panther 60. Here we go. Check Mike 99. Mike 99. Pick me up. Here we go.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Intended for Jamison Crowder. Incomplete.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a Scotian credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season. When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, that's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. 41 yards. And the Bears continue to pour it on. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use it in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's...
This is caught inside the 15. And down to the 11. A huge play there for Chicago. 54 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. This will be caught at about the 5. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 2-yard line.
2nd and 1 from the 2.
It's our time. It's our time.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was. And now it's 3rd down.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. And McGinnis with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Check back, 9-9, Mike 9-9. Man out.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check back, 9-9.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
60 Eagle, 60 Eagle. I got him, I got him.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.